Hi everyone, welcome in. I'm LeAnn.
I'm Jeannie.
And we're the Loose Thread Stitchers. We're here for another episode. Today's Wednesday, May 4th. We'd like to thank those of you that are coming back again. That's very nice of you. And anybody that's new, thank you for stopping in and checking us out. We appreciate it.
Yes, episode number 5.
Yeah, episode number 5. We'll start with questions. A few of you asked questions about my turtle tank right behind us here. I'm not going to get into too much detail. If somebody really wants to know more detail, they can email me and I can certainly answer any questions. The tank is 8 feet long. It goes 3 feet back and it's 20 inches high that sits on this wooden base here. I have 6 turtles in it. They vary. I have 2 Western painted. I have 3 albinos. There's an albino right there. There's 3 albinos in there. There's a pink-bellied side neck. I rescue turtles. I have for a long, long time, many, many years. And most of these are rescues. There's 2 in there that I ordered myself, but all the others are rescues. I also have a couple of diamondback terrapins that are rescues, and I have 4 Indian star tortoises that are rescues too. I don't keep every turtle I rescue because I've rescued tons, but I make them better and either let them go or find them a new home. So these guys have stayed with me just for one reason or another. Something has.
Do you know about how long you've had the tank? And
I think I'm going on 7 years with the tank. I think I started the 7th year in April. I had it custom made. It got delivered to my husband's work because when they deliver something that big, you need people. They won't take it off the truck. You have to. I couldn't take it off the truck by myself. So when my husband was working, it got delivered to his house or to his work, and then he used a work truck to bring it home. And my sons and him brought it in. And my wonderful son Brian, he's my oldest. He's a whiz at just about anything. So he piped everything underneath. This is pretty much an ecological system. It's biological. It pretty much takes care of itself. I have fish. I have Corey's in the bottom. I have a pleco. He's really big. I bought him. He was like maybe this big. And now he's like about this big. He's in there. The fish are having babies, so I think it's doing really, really well. And my turtles are laying eggs. It's Gracie, my Western painted turtle. She just laid her 2nd set of eggs for the season, and she usually does 4 or 5 for the whole season. So I hope that answers some of your questions.
And under the lights, or under 2 lights, there's basking, so they can come
like
up.
If you can kind of see right here, if I go this way, that's a basking spot right there. And then there's one also over there. And those are UVB lights. And pretty soon in the next couple weeks, I have an 8x4 portable swimming pool I put outside, and it has a filtration system. So they spend most of the summer outside. I bring them in every night, but the sun is the most important. That's what the UVB, it helps their shell, it helps their food digestion, it helps everything. They really need to dry off at least once a day, and they need the UVB to survive. I'm not going to get into too much because this is a cross-stitch thing, but I'm trying to answer some of your questions. Like I say, if you have more questions or want to know more, please feel free to email me or whatever. But those are my turtles, and Jeannie knows way more about them than she wants to. Yeah. So
it's really hard for her to stop the information.
Yes, it is. And it's springtime here in Minnesota, so starting in June to July is when the turtles lay eggs. And so any turtles you see out on the road, they're females looking for a place to lay their eggs. So please watch out for them so you don't smush them.
Yes.
Okay, turtle stuff done there. I hope that helps. Thank you for a couple of people that answered my question about what is a start. I do like the lady that answered me, and she said a start is something new that you've never shown before, and then the next time you show it, it's a whip. That kind of makes sense to me, so I'm going to go with that.
Yes.
So thank you for answering those questions. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to answer them or ask them, and Jeannie and I will try to answer them. Okay, so we're going to go into cross stitch. Life update. My husband, he doesn't have to have a scooter anymore. He starts physical therapy on May 12th. So we're moving in the right direction. He can walk on it. It's hard for him to walk on it though, because it's been almost 3 months since he's walked on it. So he gets tired real easy, and the doctor said that would happen. So he's on the mend now.
And I think all of our snow has melted.
Yes.
So it's in
yesterday it was 51. Oh, so nice. Oh.
Yeah, it's already 46.
I don't have fleece on. I have a sweatshirt on, Pam and stuff. But I don't have fleece on anymore. So I hope it's going in the right. I want to throw my plants outside. Let's get them outside. So
yeah.
I'm hoping Saturday I can throw them all out there. And I did buy some pansies, so I'm going to plant them. Keep your fingers crossed. This is the weirdest spring we've ever been through.
Well, yeah, but normally we don't usually plant much before Memorial Day, unless you want to replant.
I always plant on Mother's Day. My whole life I've been out planting plants on Mother's Day.
Because I guess we do more gardening with vegetables.
Right, and I do flowers.
So a lot of those have to be.
Because that's one of my big things is on Mother's Day, I spend the day planting flowers. I've always done that. That's just been my thing. Okay, so we'll move on to cross stitch.
Finally.
So, Jeannie, what have you been working on?
Okay, what I'm working on is I am doing the Erica Michaels.
Oh, you're doing a strawberry.
Strawberry, yes. Got not a big start, but a start. Oh, don't want to show the back.
Looks good. I didn't know it wasn't back.
So that's
very cute.
so far.
Oh, nice.
But now with Mania, that's the center one there.
Oh, okay. I get it. Okay, I get it.
I am doing a start every third day, and I'm doing strictly JBW. So I'll have to put my strawberry away until June. So that's what I'm working on. I'm working on JBW, but right now, the first 3 days, I got to finish. So I haven't started for today yet. So that's all of my whips.
What you're working on. Okay, I am doing WIPGO. Here's my WIPGO chart. Hopefully it's not too shiny for you. And last month I had to work on our project for going down to Osage with Kathy Haberman of Hands-On Design. So now I get to go back to my stuff, and I started, it's called I Had a Father, Kind and True. This is the pattern.
Started that at the retreat, didn't you?
I did. I started it on our spare time, and this is Willow.
Again, Willow's back.
She's our bomber. She bombs us. But this is how far I am. It's on 46 count old sheep linen. And I really love it. I've never used, you use 103 silks, and this is how I've got them in these little bags. And I really like the silks. They're a little slippery, but they're doing good. So that's what I'm working on right now, and I'll be working on it for the next 6 more days.
Fun.
I know. And that's my whip for right now. So then we'll go on to finishes. And of course, Jeannie always has finishes. I don't.
Well, what I've been working on the last 3 days for WIPGO is JBW Birds in the Round.
For Mania?
Mania.
Oh, okay. I'll say you're doing WIPGO and Mania?
No, I'm sorry. Okay, so here is my Birds in the Round. And it's on 16 count Ada. And it's DMC 4240.
Oh, that's a pretty blue. It's too bad.
It's variegated.
Yeah, and it's really dark. It's almost a purpley blue. There's pretty much the color right there.
Here is the chart. So that's
on like a dark gray, like a charcoal gray almost.
Kind of we got a blue tinge.
Blue. Yeah, it does.
And then I was working on modern folk embroidery, Jane Austen, Tenderness of Heart.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And this is on printed Ada. It looks like like a letter, like written, handwritten. So the background there is actually printed on the Ada. So kind of tried to get it centered. Did so-so job.
Well, I don't know how because
Yeah.
you're stitching. How do you, if they don't have it printed right, it's not your fault.
Well, no, but yeah. So now to frame that. So
Right, that's beautiful.
those are my finishes.
And of course, we get to move on to fully finished. Do you want to show those first and then we'll talk about this, or do you want to talk about this?
Sure.
First?
Let me get these out of the way,
Yeah.
and then we'll go on to our. Okay. So this is the first one. That's May 9 patch by Primrose Cottage Stitches. And I made this into
that's very cute.
pillow.
That's so cute.
So, and I used a 14 count Ada, white Ada, and sulky threads, and I just picked the colors that were close to, because on 14 count, I like sulky. It's a little thicker, so I only have to use 2 threads. Otherwise, sometimes 3 threads of DMC, more coverage. So, then I did the June 9 patch by Primrose Cottage Stitches. And I did this into another pillow. So, yes.
Very, very cute.
So there, that's my
And half your table's already cleaned off.
FFOs for cross stitching. Now,
So we both have an FFO now because we went to Osage. It's called the Stitchery Nook last weekend. The class was Friday and Saturday, and it was with Kathy Haverman of Hands-On Design. And this is what project she had us make.
I gotta get
It's there's a needle book, and this is the needle book, and you open it up.
Got cross stitching on the back. We put our initials.
Right, there's our initials, and this is more 3-dimensional. You can't tell, but there's a magnet under there because when you lay it in the box, she wants you to be able to put the pin cushion, has a magnet down here, and that attaches to the needle book.
The box also has a magnet in the middle.
Right here. And she showed us, we got the fabric and the batting and everything for the box, and she gave us the box. And so the inside just has a piece of felt in it.
Wool filled. It's got 2. It's got the gray as a liner.
Right.
And then the white for your needles and pins. And then really neat way of doing the binding. Because this is paper, perforated paper. So
and she had us do a buttonhole stitch with the thread.
Around the outside.
Right. And then this is the pin cushion. This is the bottom. And you had to sew all of this together.
And mine is on 16 count Ada.
And mine is on 32 count linen. I don't remember the color. It's really gold. It's a really gold, greenish gold linen. It has little spools, and then your scissors meet in the corners.
Do you have a picture of the sheet? I didn't bring mine, but it's kind of stitched like
I know what you mean.
a biscornu where it's almost like a plus sign.
Yeah. See, it looked like that. And then you sew those points together to get that.
Yeah.
And then part of the class, she had us make a little purple strawberry. And it was just a little purple felt ball, and we had to stick it in hot water, and then you kept squishing till it was totally wet. And then you shaped it. You smushed the top, so you would smush this down onto the table. And then you shape it. And some people did it so they made it look like a berry, and some people, we made it look like a strawberry. And then she had, the green felt already cut in a bag and the twine.
And then you put little
cross stitches in there for the little berry part. What is that called?
The seeds.
Seeds. Very good, Ginny.
Yeah.
And then we made some counting needles, counting pins. So she had a plate of beads, and you just glued them on to the pin. And she said to do about 3. That's what Jeannie and I did with 3. It was a very, very fun class. And our table mates were Charlotte and Mary, and we'd like to say hi.
Yes.
They were very fun and very funny. So,
made the weekend that much more enjoyable.
yes, they
Thank
were
you.
very nice. It's nice to have nice people with you at your table. So they were much fun. And we did lots of shopping, which you'll see later. But that was our project.
Yes.
She didn't say when this was going to be released, did she?
No, but she's doing another class down in
Shepherd's Needle. She's doing one in July, and it's the same thing, only patriotic. And I think she has a sneak peek picture of the needle book for patriotic on her site on Instagram if you want to take a peek at that. But so if you want to go to a class with her, she's going to Shepherd's Needle.
great teacher.
She's wonderful, and her directions are very detailed, very nice. Even with just the pictures, she walked around. She was very helpful. I took pictures, and last time I couldn't get a single picture on this stupid thing. So I'm gonna try, but they'll be at the end if I can get them. I'll put them at the end. She walked around constantly and was constantly helping you. Any question you had, she answered. She's very, very good teacher, very detailed teacher too. And I like that because if you get the details, you can just keep going.
Yeah.
And she let everybody kind of go at their own pace. And once she did once we got the box done and we started on the needle book, she kind of let you, go at your own pace. But she was constantly there. You just had to raise your hand and she would come and help you.
We did the pink cushion Friday and then the needle book Saturday. So yeah, it was.
And then we did the strawberry Friday because it has to dry overnight in that shape before you can start playing with it. And then we did the needle book on Saturday.
Yes.
And the pins.
Very fun.
Very, very fun. Lots of fun people. We met a lot of people there. There were 41 there, I think.
Yeah.
41 in the class.
There's a group picture on Kathy's Instagram post.
And then she also walked around and took pictures, but Jeannie and I were shopping when that happened. So, because you see 2 people, but Charlotte and Mary's picture were there, but we weren't because we were down shopping. So.
Yeah.
She didn't tell us she was taking pictures. Otherwise,
she also had a trunk show at the Stitchery Nook. So that was a must-see and a must-purchase on some things.
Yeah, so we'll show you what we bought when we get to haul, which is probably coming up here.
And also at the retreat, Elizabeth and Liz and Sherry, the owners of the Stitchery Nook, had given us some, a bag, and in the bag there was needles.
28 count.
There was a scissor and a scissor fob. There were floss drops. Assorted.
Yep.
And a tape measure.
And then they had
in this bag.
Yep. And they had drawings.
Oh, but one other thing too. They made this project roll for us. And it's out of the fabric that's in the box from Kathy.
Yep.
In fact, I did have
and Sherry said she hand stitched all the
binding.
The one side of the binding on all of those. And then they had
there was another worker from the Stitchery Nook that was it her sister that had a long arm, so she did all of the quilting part of it.
So it's a needle roll.
Yeah, and then as we were leaving, Kathy gave us a thread waxer. So
it was very fun. It was a lot of fun. That was our very first class we've ever taken, so it would be nice to take another one at some point.
It was, a little push to get our homework done. There were quite a few of the women that didn't finish.
Right, they were there working on it while we were finishing the
Yeah.
project, but they were still working on theirs. So, but it didn't seem, I mean, everybody was relaxed. Nobody was nervous or trying to finish fast or anything. I mean, they knew they weren't done, so they just kept working on it. It was good.
Yep, there was no police there or anything. No detention. Yeah.
Anything else we need to say about that? If you guys have any more questions, we'd be certainly happy to answer them. And she's, like I said, going to be at Shepherd's Needle in July. So if you are wherever Shepherd's Needle is, I didn't look it up.
It's south.
Okay.
She
So
was mentioning.
yeah, she was mentioning she doesn't like the heat, but she's going to go. So that does bring us to haul for cross stitch, Jeannie.
Yeah.
She has 2 new patterns coming out. Kathy does. And I'm pretty sure she said they're coming out in June. And she had the samples there, and they were really cute. And these are they're 3 pillows. This one is called the Summer Basket Triple Play Pillows, but she's going to have a series, so she's going to do summer, fall, winter, spring. They were 5-inch pillows, stuffed pillows.
Aren't they a little bigger?
Were they? I thought she said her pillow form was 5 inches.
Okay, I thought it was
6?
8 or 9.
Oh, 8. You thought it was that big, huh?
But anyway, what she's doing is each season they're going to be the same size because she made the pillows so that you have a pillow form you put inside. So
I'm just looking to see if she gives you the size.
I got one of those too.
Yep, because you do the cross stitch in the middle and then you do the pillows. And you can't tell, I mean, if you look at this picture, you can see it, but she did like big quilting on the corners.
Hand quilting.
Yeah, she did hand big stitch, it's called, around the outside. And it's really cute. And it calls for flax fabric, so I got some flax. They had flax at Osage. The citrine. We're going to talk about the cherry one.
And then another little pillow she did was Life is Just. And it's this one here.
It's a bowl of cherries.
A new one. And it also comes with a little cherry charm.
Yeah, very good.
I don't know if you can see it up there on the baker's twine. Yes.
Yeah. And that bowl, I love that bowl because we see those at antique shows all the time.
Yeah.
The blue and the brown, yeah. So she did a really good job with that.
Yeah.
They were very cute. Like I say, I think she said they're coming out in June.
And then she had another one, Home of the Brave. This one here was really nice.
That one, she had that frame and it was beautiful. And
yeah.
I found it so fascinating how she could make it look, I mean, she made it look like a flag. That was from a painting. And she asked the person's permission to make it a cross-stitch pattern. And her picture was pretty big.
Yeah. It's the stitch count is 137 by 188.
There's Willow.
Yeah. So, and then I also got from her, what is that? You had me at Flamingo?
Because her son lives in Florida.
Well, and last year... I don't know if it was last year or last year for Christmas she had a 3-series ornaments out and it was flamingos. Fa la 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 mingo and flamingo all the way, and there was another one. So I thought I gotta start. And I might do a coastal tree for my house too. And then while I was checking out, Mary at the checkout said, "Oh, you need a flamingo pin." Oh. So there's the flamingo pin. So yes, that's part of the haul.
Liz, the owner, she came up and showed during the class. She is doing ornaments. She has 6 kids.
5 or 6, yeah.
I think she has 6 kids. She's doing ornaments for them so that when she dies, they will each have enough ornaments to put on a tree.
Fill a tree.
To fill it. And she does about 25 to 30 a year, she said she's working on. And she came up and passed around the ornaments that she already has done. And OMG.
They were.
Amazing. Amazing. And all the stuff that she already has done.
Well, and the variety of different kinds.
And so her kids will ask her, yeah, can you do this one? But some she's just picked and done on her own, but some she's asked, if there's anything you like, let me know and I'll make it. But she even kind of got teary every time she said, I'm making it for my kids when I die. She kind of got choked up. And I mean, these ornaments were amazing.
She had a fairly good sized bin.
Yes. And then she passed around the bags, and the big baggies, she asked you to keep those ornaments together in that baggie because they were for a certain kid and she didn't want them to get mixed up.
She already had the Ziplocs labeled.
I'm guessing it was about an hour that those things got passed around and looked at. It was amazing. And they're going to have an ornament finishing class.
The end of October.
Yeah. So if anybody's interested in learning how to finish ornaments, I mean, she's a perfect one to show you.
Right, they're going to give you 3 ornaments to cross stitch.
And then when you get to the class, they'll teach you how to finish them. And it's like October 27th because you couldn't go. That's right.
It ends up the weekend of Halloween. So Thursday Sunday the 3rd. Saturday the 30th is the second day.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I mean, I was just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah,
every one you saw was better.
Yeah.
I was like, which one do you like best? I don't know, but amazing. Just tons.
Yeah, there were Mill Hill bead kits in there. There was chronic. Yeah.
Little stockings. Little stockings. And then she had one that was an owl. It was round. And the finish she put on the edge was like feathers. So
real wispy.
Yeah, wispy. So it looked like an owl.
A face of an owl.
Yes, it was beautiful. Beautiful. Yes. Okay, when I got there, I checked out the thread. They had lots of thread. I looked at the Gentle Arts, and when we got there on Thursday, the only thread she did not have in Gentle Arts was Raven. And when we left on Saturday night, the only threads she did not have was Raven and Cider Mill Brown. So if you're looking for a Gentle Arts thread, they would be a good one to call. These are patterns you've seen, but I brought these patterns to kit up at least for thread. So this is Stitch All the Things, and see, I got all the thread for it. And then this is the Sewing Bee by Erica Michaels, and again, I got all the thread for it. This is Colonial Blooms, and I got the thread. This is Needfuls. These are all from Market, and I got all the thread for it. This is The Flower Gatherer by Abby Rose, and I got all the thread for it. And this is Luminous Fiber Arts. It's called Stitching Birds. There's another one, too. When we went to get it, it was sold out.
Counting is Hard, I think is the other one.
And I got the threads that we need for that. Like I say, they had threads that I haven't found in a while, and she had lots. And I mean, I got Cider Mill Brown. I mean, I got Country Redwood. I'm not going to show you all of these. Picnic Basket, Harvest Basket, Dark Chocolate. Haven't seen dark chocolate forever. Caramel Corn, Heirloom Gold, Harvest Basket, I said. Carriage Black. Like I said, she didn't have Raven. That was the only one. Espresso bean. When's the last time I saw espresso beans? So I was like a kid in a candy store. So then she had some Lady Dot Creates, and this is called Rusted Nail, and it's orange trim. And this one is Shakespeare's Primitive Red, and this one's cool. It's like a really dark tea-dyed red. That one I just love. I also got
it's a good thing she had a van that she drove.
No, it wasn't that bad. They had these little tomato pins, and a lady came down and was asking for them, and the store lady said, yeah, I have 2. So she gave the lady 2, and I was looking for more, and the store helper said, no, we don't have any more. Well, she came up later and said, I found 2 more. So I got one.
1, 2.
So there's no more of these.
So she was out again.
Yeah. And then we've been asking the Stitchery Nook every time we go down, do you have a corner square? And they hadn't. And now Liz makes them with her laser cutter. So now she had all different colors. They're orange, yellow, clear. So we got one of those corner things. And then fabric, they have fabric that they can cut for you. There's a whole wall of all different sizes and they can cut for you. But they also have on the right side, it's all pre-bagged already in fat quarters and fat halves. And I look for a 36 and 40 count. This is Carmel by Seraphim Fabrics. This is 40 count, so I got this. And they're hanging and they come in a bag, already, so you can just pick it up and go, which I love. You don't have to stand around and wait when there's 41 women there.
Well, when you want for your stash, and you don't want just...
And that's all I'm doing is trying to build my stash. This is Shrekie's Tan by Needle Bling Design, and this is a 40 count fat quarter. That's pretty good, don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
That's about right, yeah. So that's Shrekie's Tan, and I have a few projects that call for Shrekie's Tan. I kind of wrote myself notes of projects that I... Patriots Brew, she had 36 count Patriots Brew. So I got some of that. Yeah, that's about right. Seems like between us is dark enough, huh? Dusty Road by Seraphim Fabrics. This is 36 count. Dusty Road. This one I love. It has little blotches in it. This was one of my favorites. Prairie Grass. I've never done Prairie Grass, but again, I kind of like all these tans, just a little darker. You can tell.
Yeah, and you're a sampler person,
they're
so
good. They're very good sampler fabrics, and this one is 36 count.
Or any of those pin keeps that you're gonna do.
Right. Pin keeps are easy because you just use the leftover pieces.
Well, that's what it's hard to do is when you have a fat quarter and you aren't only gonna do a pin keep, it's like, ooh, do I want to use the big piece?
Right. You don't want to cut. I think it's Laura or somebody. Is it Brenda or Laura? They hate cutting into a whole new piece.
Well, that's what I did when I did my birds in the round. I did the whole piece thinking, well, then when I go to trim it, I can leave more onto the big piece than if I did it, to fit into a hoop or whatever.
Right. This is Sand Dunes by Seraphim. And this is kind of darker than what it's showing. It's a little darker. And this is a half yard of 40 count. And then I was looking for, I have this pattern. It's called Quaker Turtles. And I was looking for a green. And Sherry helped me look for a green. And I found this. It's agave. It's 40 count or 36 count agave. And that's pretty good, don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for the... and then these are the greens. I picked out 2 different greens, and Jeannie helped me because I couldn't decide. I had so many greens out. So there's 2 different greens because turtles aren't the same color. So I thought, well,
see?
They're all different colors, so those will look good on there. So I'm excited to kind of try. These are just really little things. They're not real big. Maximum has been reached, so it's going to split now.
Okay.
So, then I have this one from Fox and Rabbit Designs called Sarah Hayward. And they had corn silk, 35 count corn silk, which is not they used hog bristle. But if you look at the picture, the background's really yellow and hog bristle's not that yellow. So then I got corn silk, which is pretty close. It's pretty darn close. So I had her cut, and look at all the DMCs. That's a ton of DMCs. It's a big thing, though. And then patterns. I was looking at patterns, and I got a Mill Hill kit, Santa, because he's holding a kitty, and as you can see, I have kitties.
Are you going to make that black and white instead of...
Yeah, I think so. I think I am going to switch the color. And this one I've been looking for a while, my Needleberry. And Charlotte, our table mate, was asking if we've ever done a strawberry, and I told her to watch the video because I bought some strawberry patterns, and obviously Jeannie's over here working on a strawberry. Yeah. And this one is the Sampler Berry by Erica Michaels. I found that one. These I couldn't find. I had them on my list, and I couldn't find any of these patterns. And this is by Erica Michaels. It's called Random Threads. And then on the back, it's framed in brown, if you like brown. But I think I'm going to do mine in blue. And this is Grand Old Flag by Brenda Gervais. And she's standing on a spool. And then these, Jeannie showed these last time, and I kind of like, I've been liking them for a long time, and so I just bit the bullet. And this is Samplings 1, because you get the fabric in it to do the other 2 eggs. Because you really only cross-stitch 1 egg, and then you get 2 more eggs without cross-stitching anymore. So you kind of get a good deal there. No, these aren't. Oh, and then I found this pattern, Schoolgirl Samplings. And then they had Aztec, they just got Aztec Red in, which is what the red one needs. So then I got a little piece of Aztec Red, which is about there, I think. It's really pretty. It's kind of dark and mottled.
Kind of barn reddish.
Yeah, yeah, it's really cool. I love it. I thought, well, that's be my first colored fabric. And then I found Little Birds by Blackbird, so I picked that up too. Buy all the Blackbird. And they had the one that Steph was saying they couldn't get anymore. It was the Christmas, was it Christmas Rose book? They had 4 or 5 of them if you're looking for it. Because she said she can't order it anymore. So then, this isn't from them. This is called The Little Sparrow Sewing Box by Stacy Nash. And I ordered that. This is one of those market exclusives where if the store owners could only get them if they were there, I think is my understanding. And it's this cute little box. I'm going to take it out of this so you can see a little better. It's a little box.
Oh, you got some waxers.
Right. And her daughter does the waxers. And this is 3 generations of people, women, because Stacy does... This is a collaboration of 3 generations. She says, my mom, Marlene, covered the sewing boxes. My daughter, Taylor, hand-poured the waxers, and I designed and stitched the little sparrow. So that, to me, is pretty cool. And it all comes, you have everything except the thread. I mean, here's the little, and I think the...
You got a needle in there, too.
Yeah. I think the fabric is, I want to say it's Barb's Blend, but... yeah, it's Barb's Blend, and it's just a little piece. It's not very big, but the little box is it's just so dang cute. And her mom did this, and then it'll sit inside when you're done. That's
Fun.
what it looks like. It's so cute. So it all comes as a kit. I guess that's... What else can I say? Okay, kiddo, believe it or not, I think I'm done.
Well, I got a couple other things. I got the Gathering Acorns by Luminous Fiber Arts. I did the Shamrocks earlier. And then I got Barn Star Christmas, Summer House Stitchworks.
Oh, that's
I
cute.
just thought those would be kind of fun.
Yeah.
And then I got some more chalkboard 14 count. I'm doing the Home is Where the Wreath Is by the Housewives. And then we had seen these at a quilt store.
When we went on a shop hop.
And they're to mark your scissors. They're magnetic. And you got thread, fabric, and paper. So I don't try those. So either that or I'm going to have all my scissors stuck together with these magnets. But
I don't, if you keep your scissors apart, I don't think you'll have a problem. No.
So that was my haul for stitching. Oh, no, wait. Charlotte, our table mate. When, you always kind of snack at retreats. And to keep your fingers clean, she had a pair of tongs similar to these. So she would eat her Cheetos and not touch them with her fingers. So she didn't have any fingerprints. Hers were actually longer. But, good old Amazon, we're sitting there and it's add to cart. So
Hers were the longer ones because you can either get 5.5 or 7.3, and hers were the longer ones.
Yeah.
But there was only 2 colors left, of which neither one we liked.
I think they're called chip clips.
Yeah, or snack. They're called snack
tongs.
Tongs.
Yeah.
Tongs. And there's all kind. There's some with little hands on the end. There's all. I didn't even know they existed. So it was kind of interesting looking them up and trying to decide which one do I want. Which one do I want? But they're funny. But that way you keep your hands clean while you're stitching.
And then this, some of the JBW ones, patterns, charts I'm doing this month call for 16 count, and it's a lighter color. I didn't want to go with just white, so the Citrine Nook it's called Tumbleweed.
Oh yeah.
She said it was a new one from Market, Forbidden Fiber, and it's got a little modeling in it, but it's not.
Yeah, it's like a really light tan with some modeling in it. There, that's pretty good. You can see the modeling anyway. They had all of the new flosses from Market. They had them in a separate place, but they had all the new flosses. They had Barb's Blend. They had everything.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for anything, give them a call. I was with the thread. I was like, oh, I almost started drooling. I mean, seriously.
As you can see, we didn't lack any things to buy.
No, it was fun. And we've been down there. Was this our 4th time? We've been down there a few times because they have thread.
They have thread, and they have punch cards. So you buy so much, and then you get money off. So,
yeah.
I mean, we've gone through a few punch cards over our time.
Yeah, we have.
In fact, this last weekend, we went through a few. But it was a good weekend. Very good. And then we found a place in town, Country Cupboard, that makes the best cinnamon or caramel rolls.
Caramel pecan rolls. They had cinnamon too.
Yeah,
and they're
frosting.
They're Mennonites, and I have never ever, and I make homemade caramel rolls. I have never had a caramel roll like that roll.
Oh, yeah.
The caramel was so creamy, and the dough was just like
Perfect.
It was perfect. It was so good. So we went both mornings.
They were warm.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not like she hands you your little container.
It steams up and it's warm.
Oh, it was so good.
My husband, though, we brought some home, and so my husband was having his, and he got the butter out, and I said, "Stop! You don't need butter.
You don't need butter with these. These are so good. I mean, so now every time we go down there, we're gonna make sure we stop and get some rolls.
It's just on the next block.
It is. It's right down the next block. It was very good. And the class included all of our meals except for breakfast too. So she really had a nice lady cooking. It was good. It was a good class.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that's all we have for cross stitch. So if that's all you want to know about, then we're done. So
we do have embroidery.
We have embroidery and we have some quilting. So if you want to hang around
and a
for
wool
that,
project. Yep.
Yes. So we're going to move on to that now. So if you're leaving, bye.
Thanks.
And happy Mother's Day, and we'll probably see you in about 3 or 4 weeks. That's what we're trying to film at. We're trying for 3, but sometimes it comes out to be 4. Yeah. Okay, so we'll see you. And now
stick around.
Yeah, but stick around. So now we're going to move on to embroidery and wool. Do you want to show your wool?
Okay, I got an FFO Primitive Gatherings. What was this called? Long May She Wave.
That was one of our quilting trips. Was that just a trip?
Yeah. Well, that was last time we went down to Osage, and we hit shops along the way, and so here she is. It's kind of a shelf sitter. Got sawdust in it. So.
And she used a pinking scissor.
Pinking.
A pinking scissor. She says to use a pinking rotary cutter, but I don't have.
I found the blade for that now after I got this done.
But she said the pinking shears were good because I bought the pattern too. It's bigger than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
But it's very nice.
So that's it for my wool.
And then I watched
Olivia
on Pumpkin Hollow Quilting. And
enabler.
She's a big enabler for me because she likes Civil War. But her quilt behind her around Halloween, fall time is it's called Hocuspocusville, and it has all this embroidery around the edge. So I wanted to start this, and so this is kind of what I call my car project. Anytime you go to the doctor or the whatever. So while Jeannie was driving, I worked on it, and then I worked on it in the room at night for the 2 nights. And I thought it was appropriate. The first one is like a quilt store, and you can't really see the whole thing, but this is as far as I got so far. And I love the fabric I found. It's by Primitive Gatherings, and it's a cream, and it's all mottled, so it kind of looks spooky too. So, but that's as far as I got on it. And I'll keep working on it when I have time, or when I like. Everywhere we go, I live in Lindstrom, Minnesota, and everywhere we go, it takes like 45 minutes to an hour. Like, so if we get our haircut, or if you go to the dentist, or it's a ways to go. Even to town is a half hour. So if my husband's driving, I just sit in the car and do that. That's easier than cross stitching for me in the car.
Although when we did our quilt shop hop, some of the roads weren't real smooth.
No, it kind of takes you through cornfields and stuff, and so you're
well, not actual cornfields.
No, but the roads were like, now some of the farmers are out, so then the roads get kind of full of dirt from the tractors being on it. So you're kind of going over all these bumpy dirt things, and it's kind of hard to stick your needle in the fabric. But we did it. Julie was working on a hand quilting in the back, so she
stuck herself a couple times.
Yeah. So do you have what you're working on or not?
For quilting?
Yes.
I'm not working on anything, but I did bring this. It's a table topper. I made it as a table topper,
nice.
And what it's made out of is feed and flour sacks from the 20s and 30s. So I just cut them up in squares, and then I use muslin in between. And being it's going to be on the table, I didn't want it real thick. I used flannel for batting.
Oh.
So that's just one of my flea markets, antique shows, and things like that. I'll find the flour sacks, and sometimes you get a bag of scraps. That's what these were. So I just, kind of cut them up in just that. So rescued some.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're a good rescuer.
There you go. You do turtles, I'll do fabric.
Yeah, you do fabric, I'll do turtles. And then last time I showed you, I'm working on, it's called Forevermore by Pam Buddha. And it's a monthly thing, but I bought the whole kit, and I'm up to through month 5. So this is, let's see, that's month 5, month 4. Here, I showed you 1 and 2 last time. So this is month 3. Here's the 2 big ones right there. There's the 2 big ones.
I'll hold these if you want to get the.
And then here's the little ones. You always do a couple of little ones, and I just love them. They're so much fun. And then month 4. Here's month 4. And there's those.
I got the board out.
Oh. And then month 5. Month 5 had 3 little ones, and then you do another little one in month, I think, 9. But here's the, whoops, this is a churn dash, and these are called 4 square something. So they're kind of cute too. So there, I've done so now I get to work on 6, and now that my project's done, I get to work on this, and I love it. This is like, oh my gosh, it's like I'm so excited to work on it at night, but then it's like, I don't want to work on it because then I'll be done. But that's
it's
what
a vicious circle.
It is, but it's so much fun. I just love it. And when getting back into doing my own things, I love it. It's so much fun. Okay. So that's what we're working on. And so now for Hall, we went on a shop hop.
Minnesota's having the statewide shop hop. All Minnesota shop hop. It goes for 2 months, and there's 60 shops involved, and they're in 4 sections. We did the North Central section a couple weeks ago.
Yep. We took 2 days and went with Julie, our friend. And
both days we had to call up the last shop and say, will you stay open a little longer?
And they were very nice, and they did.
Yes.
Yes, they were very, very nice, and they did. So then that's our haul.
At each shop, they gave you a little square with their logo on it and everything. So you can eventually put it into a quilt if you'd like. It kind of documents your travels. So there were, is there 15 shops in this section we did?
Something like that.
15, 16, something like that, yeah.
And we got them all. We got the whole section done. We were talking about doing south, but we don't know if we're going to be able to do it or not. We'll see.
Yeah. So, haul.
Haul. Big old haul. Up in Perham, we were up in Perham, and it's called Bay Window Quilts. They had the little tiny rickrack, and Jeannie and I bought it for cross stitching, and I thought I'm going to tea dye it. But the white was only 25 cents a yard. And, you know, you pay like $6 for 3 yards normally. So she bought other colors, but I think I'm going to tea dye this. And then this wasn't at the shop hop. I found this online.
Is that what you were looking for in the shop hop?
Yeah, I was looking for this. Nobody had it. It's called Bluebird the line is called Bluebird by Edit a Sitar Laundry Basket Quilts. And I want to make some bags out of this. So it's just beautiful fabric. And I'm going to kind of quilt around it to kind of give it some dimension.
It is beautiful.
It is. It's very, very beautiful. And then there's a panel. It's not yardage, but it's a panel. It comes as a panel. And this is half of it because the other side is the same. And it kind of looks like it's cross-stitched. And so I'm going to put this on the inside of the bags. It's beautiful. I love blue. So this is my comfort zone. And then, I didn't bring it. Huh. There's one that's hexagons too. And I got the hexagons. It's the same. I don't know where it is. Huh. Do you want me to keep going?
Sure.
Okay. Then I found some more. I showed last time the tomato fabric that was white. I found the gray. I think this was at Perham too, wasn't it? The gray tomato, and then I bought some of this to put on the inside. It's just sort of stitching, you know, it has all kinds of different stitching stuff on it. And so I put that in the middle. And then I got the red.
Oh, you've already used it?
Ruler, yeah. And I'll show you. Here it is.
Ooh.
And so I made this bag. I put a handle on it, and that's my bag. And I put it's a little tape measure charm on it, since this is tape measure stuff up there. And then I found the yellow button one. This is Sew She Sews. The whole line is Sew She Sews. S-O.
There's a panel with it too.
Yep. There's a panel, and then there's another one that has like squares in it too. There's a big panel of she's kind of riding a unicycle, and she's kind of different looking, and then I got the blue and white, their spool ends. And then I got this is just another sewing. It goes both directions, so it really doesn't matter which way you look at it. So that'll be another bag. And then I got the yellow tape measure.
And I got fat quarters in that line. Use them for different, on back of pin keeps, or maybe I might make a bag or something, but didn't know, so I start with fat quarters.
Yep. And then we were in Hackensack.
My daughter-in-law just likes to say that name.
Hackensack. Hackensack, Minnesota. She had this fabric on sale for $6 a yard, and this would be great for the back of pin keeps or whatever. And it came in blue, and then it came in red. And then she had this fabric too, and it has letters. It's by Kathy Schmidt, the embroiderer, and it has letters and pictures on it.
The alphabet, yeah.
The alphabet, and then there's little quilting pictures on it too. These are all on clearance.
I got one of those too.
So we'll do some fun stuff with that. And this was again at Bay Windows up in Perham. It's just quilt labels. And you just cut them and put them on the back of quilts. I was looking for something with quilt labels, so I was really happy to find it. And then we went to Hingley Road?
Hingley, yep,
Hingley,
in Floodwood.
Yeah. And I have a bench out on my front porch, and I want to kind of turn it into. I just find old quilts at antique shows or the, like Orinoco and stuff. We go to
Flea markets.
and I try to keep it $30 or under. So a lot of times they're kind of in bad shape and stuff. I don't want to put a really beautiful quilt out there, but they get wore out and everything. So I thought if I can make something pretty quick, like use panels or something and put over my bench maybe seasonally. So I found this for maybe like spring. I don't know, they're panels. I got it probably upside down, don't I? They're just panels, so I think I'll just put them together with some kind of blocks between and put it out there in the spring. And then for summer, this one I found.
Oh, you got companion. Oh, cute.
This one has a bicycle in it, and it just looks summery to me. So, and I got companion fabric for it.
And it's blue.
It says "Find the beauty in every day," and there's a little, and there's a kitty under the bike. So
right in the way.
Yeah, right in the way, just like my Willow. She's always in my way. And then these are 3 companion fabrics for it. So I thought I'll either do 4 squares or have triangles or something. Miss Creativity over here can help me figure out a pattern. She loves doing that. That's her thing.
Now, did you got this panel too back up in perm, didn't you?
Yeah, I did, right here.
It's pre-printed, and then it's to make pin keeps or little pillows, because then they have the backing pre-printed also.
Right.
And you can embroidery over
the what it is.
Yeah.
Right. You can to give it more dimension. Yep.
Yeah.
That was cute. Yep, that was cute. And then here's some more of that fabric with the blue behind it, and then here's just plain blue. And this is just for embroidery. It's French General, and it has all different. You can embroider all of these things and do whatever you want with them.
Kind of like stamped, huh?
Yeah, it is. It's like stamped, and it's thicker. I don't know how to describe this fabric. It's more upholstery. It's a little thicker fabric.
It's almost like the linen that you cross stitch.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. And she said it's just for embroidery, so you can do whatever you want with it. I always collect 30s too. I have quilts I make with 30s. And if I can find black and dark blue and dark red, it kind of adds a pop to your 30s quilts rather than being all faded. And then they had these primitive gatherings. They're all navy blues all the way to creams. I thought this would be a cute bag to make, just with the squares. They do 5x7 squares. And the last thing I got was a kit. JJ Stitches is down in Wisconsin.
By Madison.
Yeah, and that shop is beautiful. Civil War fabric like you would not.
She designs her own fabric and her own patterns, and she has a couple books out.
And Bay Window Quilts had this pattern. It has pumpkins with stars, but the fabric they used, they had the sample there, and it was OMG. This is the background fabric, and it's gray, but it has a little bit of green in it, and then it's all like tie-dyed. So it's like not tie-dyed, but it's mottled, it has darks and lights in it, and it's, oh my gosh. And then there's 10 fat quarters that go with it, and it's all fall colors. I mean, the sample was just beautiful, just absolutely beautiful. And usually when I buy a book, the book is called County Seed Quilts. I always have to have at least 2 patterns that I like in it. The other quilt they had made it, and they had it hanging, and it was, again, beautiful. When you see the samples, you're just like, oh my gosh.
Samples sell.
Yep, they do. And I actually bought extra. I bought fat quarters just in case I needed to make it a little bigger. Quilters, I don't know about other quilters, but it seems like we always want to make everything bigger.
It's changed the pattern a little bit.
Yeah, and then this one I thought, they didn't have the sample, but that one I love too. And actually that background fabric I bought would go on the outside border here really well. So So I found 3 patterns in this book. So I did follow my rules.
Yep. You accused me of being a rule follower.
I know. I learned from you. And I got this last was this pattern. We saw this at Hackensack, and her mother had made it, and it was hanging there as a sample. And it had the tiny stippling all over it, so it makes it look really old. It was really pretty.
Mm-hmm.
So I bought the pattern. And the last thing I made, well, this isn't haul, but I made this since it's a bag. I don't know where to throw this in, but I made this bag, again, out of one of those. This was a table. It was long, and it had one at one end.
A runner like?
Yeah, table runner. So I made this bag, and I just put a little bird charm on it.
Cute.
Yep.
And a handle.
And a handle. Jeannie likes when I put
like
handles.
handles.
She likes handles. And I agree, you can just pick them up and go.
Okay.
I'm empty.
Okay. I had gotten, this is just some vintage bathroom toilet type. I'm going to make little curtains for our bathrooms. That was at Floodwood. And then they do have featured fabric that they make for these all Minnesota shop hops. So I just thought I'd buy a couple. I just had a lot of Minnesota words on them.
Oofda. Oofda.
And then Hingeley Road gave away this book if you made a purchase. And in here, this one, she was saying this one right here, those squares that each shop gave out, you could use that pattern and make them into that. So then we went to a shop called The Quilted Dog.
Yeah, she had done.
Sorry for crinkling. I got this bird print fabric, again, for curtains for the living room. Just little. We live out in the country, so we don't do it so much for the sun or privacy or anything, but I just, little cafe curtains on the bottom of the window to kind of finish them off. Right now I have winter on, and since the snow is finally gone, I think I'll take the winter down. Then we went to Cherrywood hand-dyed fabric store in Baxter, Minnesota, and I got this kit here. It's just going to be a wall hanging. Thought I'd try it. There was this. It was so pretty. It's just like a jelly roll. So that I think is my haul.
Yep, I think that's it.
Now we got a lot of work to do.
And one of the quilt stores was Dawn's Quilt Store. If you're looking for cat fabric, she had tons.
In Alexandria, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've never seen so much cat fabric in my life. And dog. She had dog fabric too.
Yeah.
So. Yep. Okay, I think we're good, Jeannie. I think that's it.
Yes.
So I guess we'll see you in, like I say, 3 to 4 weeks, and we'll have updates then of whatever we've been working on.
Hopefully we'll have some of this haul made into projects.
Yes, wouldn't that be nice? I did. I made one of my bags already, so
yeah,
that was good. Okay, well, we'll see you next time.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye-bye.